Hey kids, today we're going to be learning about Noah and the flood.
Kaylee, what's your favorite animal?
That's easy, a monkey. And what's your favorite animal?
Mine's gotta be the eagle.
Now, imagine two of every kind of animal in the ark. What would that have sounded like?
Yeah, and what would have smelt like? Although, I think it would be quite cool to have a pet elephant for a while.
Anyways, there are two very important things to be learned about God in this story. Firstly, God hates sin and judges sin harshly on those that do not love him. And secondly, God is also merciful and full of love towards those who do love him, despite their sin.
And most importantly, this story is not about the heroic faith of Noah, which he did have, but rather of the goodness of God towards Noah's faith.
Well, let's take a look.
This is Noah.
Hey!
Noah was a good man who tried to do the right thing.
Yeah!
But in the time when Noah lived, he was the only man on earth who was doing the right thing. All the other people on earth were doing evil things and hurting each other. This made God very sad.
What is really important here, kids, is that Noah was a good man and not a perfect man.
Noah still sinned and did bad things. But Noah loved God. He was righteous because he walked closely with God.
When Noah did sin and did something wrong, his heart was always to ask God for forgiveness and to try his best not to do it again because he wanted to honor God with his life.
And just like with us who love Jesus, we mess up at times, but we can always go to Jesus and ask for forgiveness and then put things in place not to sin again.
The people of Noah's time did what they wanted. Their hearts were corrupted. They didn't care about God and asking for forgiveness for their actions. They just did as they pleased.
So God said that he was going to send a flood to the earth that would destroy every living thing on earth because he was sorry he ever made them. But God decided to save Noah and his family.
This is so important. Do you see that, firstly, God's judgment is on those that do not love him? But also, secondly, God's love towards those that do love him.
Again, this story shows God's goodness to those who put their faith in God, just like Noah did.
God told Noah to build a boat and fill it with 2 of every kind of animal and bird.
Colors, birds, moss, okay, all here?
Noah did just that, and then Noah and his whole family boarded the boat and waited for the flood to come. The rain fell hard for 40 days and 40 nights.
Whoa!
Water covered the whole earth, and the boat floated safely on the surface. Water covered even the highest mountains on earth, but Noah and his family were saved. God remembered Noah and all the animals on the boat. God sent a wind to blow across the earth, and the flood began to go away. After 5 months, the boat came to rest on a mountaintop. A few months later, the other mountains could be seen. 40 days later, Noah opened a window and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the flood had dried up. He also sent a dove out to see if it could find dry ground, but the dove couldn't find a place to land because there was still water on the ground. So the dove returned to the boat.
Oh, hello again.
After another 7 days, Noah sent the dove out again. This time, it came back with an olive leaf.
Oh, bingo!
So Noah knew that the floodwaters were almost gone. A week later, he sent the dove out again, and it didn't come back. So many months after the flood began, Noah opened the covering of the boat and saw that the ground was drying. He waited 2 more months and at last the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Leave the boat, all of you. Release the animals so they can be fruitful and multiply throughout the earth."
Okay.
So Noah, his family, and all the animals finally left the boat.
See ya.
Noah built an altar to the Lord to make a sacrifice to God. God was pleased with Noah's offering and said to himself that he would never again destroy every living thing on earth. God blessed Noah and his sons and promised them that he would never send another flood. He gave them the rainbow in the sky as a sign of this promise to Noah, his family, and all of mankind.
What a great lesson. Firstly, God hates sin and judges sin harshly on those who do not love him. Secondly, God is also merciful and full of love towards those who love him.
Even now in our time, this is more true than ever. There are people in the world who do not love Jesus, and because they don't love Jesus, the wrath of God is on them because of their sin. Just like those who were destroyed by the flood, they will one day be destroyed in hell. For us who love God, the forgiveness and mercy of God is on us because of the forgiveness through Jesus of our sins. Just like Noah and the ark, we will be saved from hell and go to heaven because of Jesus.
Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me."
Jesus is our ark because of the goodness of God and our faith in Jesus.
This is why it is so important that you tell your friends and family to believe in Jesus and be a great example of him.
But how do I be a great example of Jesus?
Just like Noah, have great faith, turn from your sin in forgiveness, and love people as Jesus would, and by telling people about the great forgiveness there is in Jesus.
Bye.
Bye.